Hello, friends, especially to the parents and to your adolescent children. This is Dreamer, and welcome to our new episode on the critical stage of adolescence, or the transitional phase of growth and development between childhood and adulthood. So let's dive deep into the world of teenagers. Now, let me tell you, raising a teenager can be like trying to hold on to a greased pig. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and you're going to end up covered in something you don't want. But we're going to get through this together. We've all been there, right? That awkward stage where you're not a kid anymore, but you're not quite an adult either. It's like an adventure to the adult world where everything is new and exciting, even though it's very confusing and mind-boggling. Hormones are raging like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Emotions are all over the universe, and suddenly your sweet little cute angel has turned into a brooding, eye-rolling stranger with whom you don't know exactly what to do. But here's the thing, it's normal, very normal, and there's nothing to worry about. It just takes a lot of work, more understanding and more patience. Adolescence is a time of immense change, and these changes can be confusing and overwhelming for both teenagers and their parents. It's like a worm becoming a butterfly that wants to fly everywhere but doesn't know how to get there and often falls to the ground. They're trying to figure out who they are, what to think, how to behave, what they believe in, and where they fit in this crazy world of confusion. So buckle up, parents, because we're about to embark on a journey to understand the challenges your teenager is facing and equip you with the tools you need to navigate this wild ride called adolescence. One of the biggest challenges teenagers face is figuring out their identity. Who are they in this new adult world? This question isn't just about their name or where they come from. It's about understanding their core values, their passions, their dreams, and their place in the universe. It's a journey of self-discovery that can be both exciting and depressing. What do they want to be when they grow up? This isn't just about choosing a career. It's about envisioning a future that aligns with their dreams and aspirations. They might be drawn to a variety of fields, from medicine to the arts, from technology to social work. Each option represents a different path, a different version of themselves. What do they believe in? This question goes beyond religious or spiritual beliefs. It's about their values, their principles, and what they stand for. Are they passionate about social justice? Do they believe in the power of community? Are they searching for deeper philosophical truths? These beliefs will shape their actions and decisions. These are big questions, and they can lead to a lot of soul-searching experimentation, and yes, even some rebellion. Now, don't panic, folks. It's a time of trying on different identities. Much like trying on different outfits to see what feels right. This process can be messy and confusing, but it's a crucial part of growing up. One day they're into sports, dedicating hours to perfecting their skills on the basketball court or soccer field. They might dream of becoming a professional athlete, inspired by their favorite sports stars. The next day it's music, and they're strumming a guitar or belting out tunes, imagining themselves on stage in front of adoring fans. Music becomes their outlet, a way to express emotions they can't put into words. And the day after that, they're convinced they're going to be a veterinarian, a chef, or maybe even a scientist. They dive into books, watch documentaries, and experiment in the kitchen or lab, driven by a newfound curiosity. And an astronaut, all at the same time. Their imagination knows no bounds, and they see no reason why they can't pursue multiple dreams simultaneously. It's a beautiful, if sometimes overwhelming, aspect of their boundless potential. Please don't panic. This is perfectly normal. It's all part of the process of figuring out who they are and what they want from life. It's a time of exploration and discovery, and it's important to support them through it. It's like teaching them how to ride a bike. They will surely fall many times, but you are there to always pick them up and say, "It's okay, sweetheart. It's part of learning. Everybody falls, and not just you. Keep learning." They're trying on different hats, so to speak, to see what fits. This metaphorical hat trying is essential for them to understand their likes, dislikes, strengths, and weaknesses. Each new interest or hobby is a piece of the puzzle that makes up their identity. Your job as a parent is to encourage this exploration. Be their cheerleader, their guide, and their sounding board. Listen to their ideas, no matter how outlandish they may seem, and offer your support and encouragement. Let them try new things, even if you think it's just a phase. Each new experience teaches them something valuable, whether it's a new skill, a new perspective, or a deeper understanding of themselves. Let them dye their hair purple or any other color they fancy. It's a form of self-expression and a way for them to assert their individuality. Hair grows back, but the confidence they gain from making their own choices is lasting. Let them listen to that music you can't stand, because it's more than just noise to them. It's a soundtrack to their life, a way to connect with their peers, and a means of exploring their emotions. Let them experiment within safe and legal boundaries, of course. Whether it's painting a mural, building a model, or any other creative endeavor, these activities help them discover their talents and passions. This is not the time to be critical or judgmental. Instead, be open-minded and supportive. Remember, they're navigating a complex and often confusing world, and they need your understanding more than ever. Now, more than ever, they need your support and understanding. They need to know that you're there for them no matter what. Your unconditional love and acceptance are the foundation they need to build their confidence and self-esteem. They need to know that you love them unconditionally, no matter what they're into this week. This assurance gives them the courage to explore, to make mistakes, and to grow into the person they're meant to be. So embrace this journey with them and watch as they blossom into their true selves. All right, folks, let's talk about peer pressure. It's real, it's powerful, and it can be incredibly difficult for teenagers to resist. They want a group where they belong. They don't want to be isolated and alone in their new world. They're at a stage where they're trying to fit in, be accepted, and gain the approval of their peers. This desire to belong can lead them to make choices they wouldn't normally make. Choices that go against their values, their beliefs, and even their common sense. They sacrifice their values for the sake of the group. Suddenly, they're faced with situations where they're pressured to try drugs or alcohol, engage in risky behaviors, or compromise their morals just to fit in with the cool and wild crowd of new adventurers. Now, you can't always be there to shield them from these pressures, unfortunately, but you can give them the tools they need to navigate these situations on their own. Give them the guidelines of what should be done and what should be avoided at all costs. And it all starts with teaching them critical thinking skills. Help your teenager develop the ability to think for themselves, to question everything, and to make decisions based on their own values and beliefs, not on what their friends are telling them to do, which is a lot easier for us to say, but very hard for them to do. They will surely make mistakes now and then, but what is important is they already know what is right. All right, folks, buckle up, because navigating the emotional landscape of a teenager is like riding a roller coaster blindfolded or surfing the great waves of Hawaii. One minute, they're on top of the world. The next, they're slamming into a pit of despair. They are controlled by their emotions instead of being the master of them. And let me tell you, these emotional swings, they're completely normal. After the great storm of catastrophic emotions, there comes the peace and calm. Hormones are coursing through their bodies, their brains are still under construction or renovation, and they're trying to figure out their right place in the world. It's a recipe for some intense, wild, and irrational emotions. As Blaise Pascal puts it, the heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of. We know the truth not only by the reason but by the heart. But here's the thing, even though it's tough, you can't lose your cool. Don't explode when they explode. You've got to be the steady hand on their backs. Instead of meeting their outbursts with anger, try to be a source of comfort and understanding. Listen to what's going on in their world. Try always to understand them being understood by them. Let them know that you hear and feel them, you see their struggles, and you're there for them as a friend, not just as parents. Because oftentimes teenagers are more comfortable and confiding with their friends than with their parents. Remember, their emotions might seem irrational to you, but they're very real to them. Emotions are real even though they come from a wrong perception. Validating their feelings, even if you don't understand them, can make a world of difference. It shows them that they can trust you, and that's crucial during this tumultuous time. Let's talk about academic pressure. These kids today are facing more pressure than ever before. Good grades are essential for college, scholarships, and their future careers. It's enough to make anyone crack. Now, they study not just to learn, but to be on top of the class. Oh, really? Now, I'm all for pushing kids to be their best, but there's a fine line between encouragement and pressure. Let them do their best without pushing them to be the best of everyone. You've got to remember, every child is different. They have different strengths, different weaknesses, and different learning styles and capabilities. Even computers have different capabilities, so why do you compare your children to others? Everyone is a bottle. We only have to fill up our bottle without worrying that others have bigger bottles. So before you start laying down the law about straight A's, take a step back and really assess your child's abilities. Don't let them bite more than they can chew. What are they good at? What they enjoy the most doing? What do they struggle with? Every genius is stupid of something, just as every stupid is genius of something. What are their academic goals? Once you have a clear understanding of where they stand, you can set realistic expectations. And let me tell you something, sometimes just passing is already a victory, a great achievement, if passing is the best that they can do. This next stage of adolescence is a real balancing act. Your teenager is caught between wanting independence and still needing your guidance. It's like part-time worker or part-time lover. They're like a bird trying to fly for the first time, flapping their wings with all their might, but still terrified of leaving the nest. They want to be free, but the responsibility of being free is still too heavy. And let me tell you, it's a tough transition for both of you. You always see your teenager as a baby, and they always long for maternal love and care. You've spent years taking care of them, making decisions for them, and now you're supposed to just let go. Do you really think it's easy? Separation among two lovers will always be the most painful moment in life. Oh, believe me. But here's the thing. You got to let them spread their wings. They need the freedom to make their own choices, even if it means making mistakes along the way. That's how they learn. That's how they grow. Now, I'm not saying you should just hand them the keys to the car and wish them luck. You still need to set boundaries, but instead of dictating rules, try negotiating them together. Let's talk about body image for a minute, because this is a tough one for teenagers. It's a topic that can be incredibly sensitive and complex, touching on so many aspects of their lives. From the moment they wake up and look in the mirror, to the time they spend scrolling through their phones, they're constantly confronted with images and messages about how they should look. They're bombarded with images from every direction, magazines, TV, social media, telling them they need to look a certain way. These platforms are relentless, pushing an ideal that is often unattainable and unrealistic. It's not just about the clothes they wear or the makeup they use, it's about their entire appearance, down to the smallest detail. And let me tell you, those images are usually about as real as a $3 bill. The photos we see are meticulously edited, with every flaw erased and every feature enhanced. It's a fantasy world, but it's presented as reality. Teenagers who are still figuring out who they are can easily fall into the trap of believing that this is what they should aspire to. You've got these airbrushed models and filters that can make even a troll doll look like a beauty queen. The technology available today can transform anyone into a version of themselves that doesn't exist in real life. It's all about creating an illusion, and it's incredibly convincing. But the problem is, it sets a standard that no one can meet, not even the models themselves. It's all smoke and mirrors, folks, and it's warping our kids' perceptions of what's normal and healthy. They start to believe that their worth is tied to their appearance, and that if they don't look a certain way, they're not good enough. This can lead to a host of issues, from low self-esteem to eating disorders and depression. We need to have a serious come-to-Jesus meeting with ourselves and our teenagers about this stuff. It's time to sit down and have honest conversations about what they're seeing and how it's affecting them. We need to help them understand that these images are not real and that they don't define their value as a person. They need to understand that these images are manipulated. They're designed to sell products, not to reflect reality. The goal is to make them feel inadequate so they'll buy whatever is being advertised. It's a business and it's not concerned with their well-being. We need to teach them to be critical of what they see and to question the motives behind it. And they sure as heck shouldn't be the measuring stick for their own self-worth. Their value comes from who they are, not what they look like. We need to reinforce this message constantly because the pressure to conform is relentless. It's about building their confidence and helping them to see their own unique beauty. This is where you, the parent, come in. You have a crucial role to play in shaping their self-image. Your words and actions can make a huge difference. Be the voice of reason, the one who cuts through the noise and tells them the truth. Show them that you love and accept them just as they are. You've got to be the voice of reason, the one who cuts through the noise and tells them the truth. It's not just about what you say, but also about what you do. Be a positive role model. Show them that you value health and happiness over appearance. Encourage them to pursue their interests and passions and to take pride in their accomplishments. You need to remind them that real beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. It's not about fitting into a mold, but about being true to themselves. Celebrate diversity and individuality. Help them to see the beauty in others and in themselves. This is a message that needs to be reinforced over and over again. It's about being comfortable in your own skin, not conforming to some impossible standard. Confidence comes from within, and it's something that can be nurtured and developed. Encourage them to focus on their strengths and to embrace their uniqueness. Help them to see that they are more than their appearance. It's about being healthy and strong, mentally and physically. Encourage them to take care of their bodies and minds. Promote a balanced lifestyle that includes physical activity, healthy eating, and mental wellness. Teach them that health is about feeling good and being able to do the things they love, not about looking a certain way. That's the message we need to be sending our kids. It's a message of love, acceptance, and empowerment. It's about helping them to see their own worth and to build a positive self-image. It's about giving them the tools they need to navigate a world that can be harsh and unforgiving. Together, we can help them to grow into confident, healthy, and happy individuals. Now, let's talk about the birds and the bees. This age-old euphemism for discussing sex and relationships might seem quaint, but the conversation it represents is more important than ever. Look, I know this can be an uncomfortable topic for some parents, but trust me, it's a conversation you need to have with your teenager. It's natural to feel a bit nervous or unsure about how to start, but your determination to guide them through this complex subject is crucial, and you need to have it sooner rather than later. The earlier you start, the better prepared your teenager will be to navigate the challenges and pressures they will inevitably face. We live in a hypersexualized society. Everywhere we look, from billboards to TV shows, sexual content is pervasive. This constant exposure can shape your teenager's understanding and expectations about sex and relationships in ways that might not be healthy or realistic. Our kids are exposed to sexual content everywhere they turn, on TV, in movies, online, you name it. The internet in particular is a vast and often unregulated space where they can encounter explicit material, sometimes without even seeking it out. And let's not forget about the pressure they're getting from their peers. Peer pressure can be incredibly influential, pushing teenagers to conform to certain behaviors or attitudes about sex, even if they're not ready or comfortable. It's a lot to handle, and they need your guidance. Your support can help them feel less overwhelmed and more confident in making their own decisions. The key here is to create an open and honest dialogue. This means being approachable and willing to listen as much as you talk. It's not just about giving them information, it's about building a relationship where they feel safe to express their thoughts and feelings. Let your teenager know that they can come to you with any questions or concerns they have about sex and relationships. No judgment. Reassure them that their curiosity is normal and that you're there to help them understand and navigate these topics. Believe me, they have questions. They might be wondering about the physical aspects of sex, the emotional implications, or how to handle peer pressure. They might also have misconceptions that need to be corrected. And they're more likely to come to you if they know you're going to be open and understanding. A sense of humor can also help lighten the mood and make the conversation less intimidating for both of you. Now, I'm not saying you need to give them a detailed breakdown of the Kama Sutra. The goal isn't to overwhelm them with too much information at once, but you do need to give them accurate information about sex, STDs, and contraception. This includes explaining how to protect themselves and the importance of consent in any sexual encounter. And you need to talk to them about healthy relationships, respect, and boundaries. Help them understand what a respectful and consensual relationship looks like, and why it's important to set and respect personal boundaries. This is about equipping them with the knowledge and skills they need to make responsible choices. It's not just about preventing negative outcomes like STDs or unplanned pregnancies, but also about fostering positive, healthy relationships that can enrich their lives. Remember, this isn't a one-time talk. It's an ongoing conversation. Check in with your teenager regularly to see how they're feeling and if they have any new questions or concerns. You might also consider seeking out additional resources, such as workshops or seminars, that can provide both you and your teenager with more information and support. There are many excellent online resources available that can help you navigate these conversations. Websites, articles, and videos can offer valuable insights and tips for both parents and teenagers. Books can also be a great resource. There are many well-written guides that can help you approach these topics in a way that's informative and age-appropriate. Ultimately, the goal is to build a foundation of trust and communication. By being open, honest, and supportive, you can help your teenager navigate the complexities of sexuality and relationships with confidence and respect. So take a deep breath, gather your thoughts, and start the conversation. Your teenager will thank you for it, even if they don't realize it right away. This is one of the most important talks you'll ever have, and it's worth every moment of effort. Remember, you're not just talking about sex, you're talking about life, love, and respect. And that's a conversation worth having. Look, we live in a digital age. Technology is everywhere, and our kids are growing up immersed in it. It's important to remember that just like with anything else, moderation is key. We wouldn't let our kids eat candy all day long, would we? Well, too much screen time can be just as bad. It's about finding a healthy balance. Encourage your teenagers to engage in activities outside the digital realm. Sports, hobbies, spending time with friends and family in person. These are all essential for their development. Now, I'm not saying technology is the enemy. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It's our job as parents to teach our kids how to use it responsibly. That means setting boundaries on screen time. And don't be afraid to be the bad guy here. You're not there to be your child's best friend. You're there to be their parent. They might not like it now, but trust me, they'll thank you later. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, substance abuse. It's a tough subject, but we can't afford to shy away from it. The reality is substance abuse can affect anyone from any walk of life, and it often starts young. As parents, we need to be proactive, not reactive. Don't wait until there's a problem to have the conversation. Start early and talk to your kids about the risks of drugs and alcohol. Be honest with them about the consequences. Don't sugarcoat it. Substance abuse can ruin lives. It can lead to addiction, health problems, legal issues, and even death. Look, raising teenagers is a tough job, and you don't get paid for it. But it's also the most rewarding job in the world. It's about guiding these young people as they navigate the choppy waters of adolescence and helping them grow into responsible, well-rounded adults. Remember, you're not alone in this. Every parent goes through it, and if you stumble, don't beat yourself up. Tomorrow's a new day. Just get back up, dust yourself off, and keep going. This is Dreamer saying, love your children by allowing them to do what they ought to do and not what they just want to do. Take care of your children. They are your lifelong investment, and one day the world will benefit with huge interest from your good guidance. They might not change the world, but they could always make it a better place. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share for more educational content. Peace and love to all.